We are back in the black hole of real estate, and this week I want to talk about this reaction to what happened because the real estate world went into a little frenzy about 10, 12 days ago about this whole National Association of Realtors massive settlement for over $400 million. And interestingly enough, the rest of the world just yawned and nothing much happened. I have witnessed countless social media messages and pleas from the real estate professionals over the last couple of weeks, and not all of it's been a good look. So here's what I mean. I see a number of people stumping about how much they're worth and their value and listing 150 or 200 different things that real estate agents do for the clients. And I don't know if that's been the right approach for a lot of agents, because the rest of the world has, and I'm going to say it again, they've just yawned. If you look at what happened in the mortgage industry back in 2010, there was a time where people had to adjust. The market had changed. The systems had changed, and it wasn't the end of the mortgage industry. People still use loan officers, but they had to adapt, correct, change, and do things differently. And they did. The stockbrokers went through it, right? Because all the online trading came out, and you could just do it online. You don't need an advisor. Well, some people to this day, believe it or not, still use an advisor. And there's many examples out there, not just in the financials world, but there's other businesses that have also had to adapt. There's plenty of places where you can click a button and have something show up at your house tomorrow, maybe today. People still go to the stores. Same with the grocery stores. You can get those delivered, but some people still go to the store. And there's drive-up windows at so many restaurants and delivery that some people go sit down and have meals in their restaurants. So every industry is going to have a moment, and it's going to change. I mean, there's a thing called the Industrial Revolution, invention of cars and trains and things and planes, that people have had to adjust the way that they've either transported, they've purchased things, or they've done things. So nothing much has changed. Oh, and if it's travel, they've got those things online too. Yet some people still use a travel agent. So when I say the rest of the world yawned, I mean it. I mean, this was a crisis to the real estate industry and some of the people that work there. What it really meant was that they were going to have to do a better job in a couple of key areas. And number one is just being fundamentally sound with their clients and understanding their trade like no other, and be customer focused and committed to their success, and operate within a space of integrity. And I do believe that there's a lot of people that will want to use the services of a real estate professional to purchase a home, purchase an investment property, or sell a property. I'm convinced of it. Because the same thing has happened in every other industry. But the way that we conduct that business, it's changed a little bit. Not yet, but it's on the horizon of changing, and maybe July of this year we'll see it. But I have to believe that if an agent is doing right by the client and showing up and being on time, provided uncompromised value, that agent, they will be just fine. And I believe that those that continue to educate and inform and guide the people that they want to work with and be in relationship with in this type of a business that involves so much money, and continue down the path of pouring into their clients and putting their needs ahead of their own, those agents, those type of things will do really well, because it's been proven in every other business. And maybe some of the fellow agents had a bit of a misstep, although I'm not sure where to go with this. But listing your accomplishments and how you're so vital and what's going to happen and the end of the earth coming and the changing of the industry. None of the settlement stuff said that buyers and sellers would not compensate the professionals that they work with. It never said that. But there is additional transparency that's going to come. And there are slight changes in the paperwork. And it may operate just a little bit different than what we've been accustomed to. But I do believe it'll work similarly. I do. So for the industry, the brokerages, the national ones, some have been very quick to adapt and be nimble and bring real change to the table for the agents that work for them. Hats off to them. There's some doing a really good job of providing value and tools and resources and things that are able to be done in person or via email or electronically or right off a tablet or a phone when they go to these showing appointments. And again, this happens later this year. It doesn't happen now, but there's change. There's absolutely some rhetoric out there. We're going to continue to do things this way, or pen and paper the old school way, or just out and out denial of what's going on. But I don't believe it's the end of the type of business where people would compensate a professional to provide a service that the consumer either would not be able to replicate on their own or simply don't want to do it on their own, and that they want a guide and want to be led through the process, and they want to focus on the most important things, which for them could be free time, could be working at their job, it could be just the amount of complexity or paperwork that they just would rather not deal with. You know, we probably all can make our own dinner, yet so many people order takeout or have food delivered. We could cut our own lawns, we can change our own oil, and some people probably do all of those things and never pay for those services. But there's a convenience that's available that people like and want, and I would suspect it would be the same in this industry. So for all of the gnashing of teeth and anxiety that's spilled out through multiple forms of media, I would just say to my fellow agents in the industry, level up. Because while you were going through what you felt was a crisis in the end of things, the way that you've done it for a little while or even a long while, the rest of the world had more important stuff to worry about than how you're going to get paid differently or why. They were more focused on things like what's going on in world peace and the economy and paying for groceries and putting their kids to school. This didn't really land with the vast majority of the population in the United States. It really didn't. And when you think about it, I mean, is it really a shock that there's just such a lack of reaction, other than a few clickbait articles out there on certain sites that just want the advertising dollars? I mean, this thing has fizzled out really fast. There's not a lot out there. And to this, I mean, now I see a couple articles here and there in the financial pages, and it's just a head-shaking moment. It's like those tabloids that you might see in the grocery store if you went there and got print magazines, I guess, or saw them online. But it's much ado about nothing at this point. I think it happened really fast, and I think it's sliding away really fast. We got an election coming up in the end of the year, and what is it, 7 months away, give or take. I think that's more on people's minds. I think that there's wars raging all over the world, and maybe we don't want to be involved in those things. And you know, there's all these other things going on that I won't list right now, but if you flipped on the news or watched the news, there's a whole lot more to worry about out there than how real estate sales are going to be conducted going forward. So since it's going to be okay, and we know it's going to be okay, we'll spend a lot less time on it. But I wanted to put this out there today. I waited. I normally would put something out towards the end of the week, but I'm going to drop this in the first part of the week so that we can get it out of the way in the evening quietly on a Monday night, and then not have to think about it or talk about it anymore, and focus on real solutions of how we're going to find the right home at the right price and sell for the most amount of money in the right amount of time And how about interest rates? Maybe, maybe they'll come down just a little bit and help the affordability for some people that are right on the line of qualifying because the rates are higher this year than they've been in past years. I want to focus on some real solutions that would help people. So today, I'm going to put a pin in it and just say that this whole settlement thing, I'm just calling it over because I already know the solutions I'm going to put in place. It's just be an even better agent every day and a better provider of services to people that I serve. And I believe that I've already got a good plan in place that will help me today and tomorrow and the next day. And I'm not worried about July because I have a plan for that too. And I think most agents have an idea what their plan is. They're just a little scared, and that's okay. Because change could be uncomfortable, change could be scary, but change could be good. It could be good for the consumers, could be good for the industry. And that's where my focus is going to be. So after today, we'll spend a lot less time talking about it, hopefully not too much for many, many months, and focus on the real things, affordability and interest rates and where that's going to go. Will the inventory keep increasing, or will there be better opportunities and choices for those that are looking to move in the rest of 2024? So that's where we should be spending our time in this forum. Hope you guys are having a great night. I want to get this out there to kind of end that topic and start back into the more important things. This is Ron Wojciechowski for the Black Hole of Real Estate.